You are now listening to the National Show with Gangsterville and McGee. The National Show, the National Show, the National Show, no show, no show. The National Show, the National Show, the National Show, no show, no show. All right, No Nation. This is the National Show with Gangster Fizil and McGee. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to our channel at National. That's at NATIONOLE. We're also on IG, X, and all the other links on our Linktree /National Show, NATIONOLESHOW. And then you can check out our website, national.com, nationole.com.
That's COM.
COM. COM. Make sure we get it right for everybody. And while you're there, you can check out our latest episode and get you some good National drip. We got product for sale, baby. We got sweatshirts, we got t-shirts, we got coffee mugs.
Thank you to those who have already placed your orders. I will get rocking on those this afternoon.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, man. Very cool. Very cool. Well, it feels different,
right,
bro.
Where do we start?
Feels different.
right.
Feels different around here.
Right, bro. I told you,
here.
I don't know. Just last week, that game, leading up to that game, just felt like a freaking Cinderella story, man. Just everything was coming right, man. Everything. Yeah. We had our fairy goddaddy Gus Malzone up in the building. You know what I'm saying? At 12 o'clock hit, we just handled business, man.
Man, everything we talked about. Every
goddamn thing. Everything.
Little bit of weather making things weird in the second quarter. Our running back was just like nonstop. Boom, 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 boom. Our defense played well. We were effective at passing because we didn't have to do it very often. And when we did, the running game had made it possible. So although we're not doing a ton of passing, and not for nothing. I don't want to be all. It's not all icing and cake around here. Like I am a little worried that if we're playing from behind, we're kind of in a jam because I don't want to rely on our passing game. But if our defense plays the way our defense played, and our defense played really well, right? That's even if Alabama's not on the same page, those are great athletes. Those are great football players. Our defense played really well. If our defense plays like that and our running attack is effective. And one thing about Gus Malzahn, I know every defensive coordinator he's ever gone up against has tried to shut down the run. It's very hard to do. When it happens, he always has like a plan B, plan C, plan D, plan E, plan whatever, et cetera, et cetera. But if we're in, I think we can avoid the situation for the most part. But if we're in a situation where we're down 3 touchdowns in the third quarter, I'm just a little worried about that scenario. But again, if we do everything right, we're never in that position. So
right.
I just dumped everything. I haven't you're the only person I've gotten to actually talk about this with all week, and it's just sorry, I didn't mean to just run through all my notes real quick.
No, you good, bro. You good, man. You good. It's like we said, everything we talked about came true, man.
Yeah.
The only question that I had was on our defense, bro. That was the biggest question mark for me because it's just a new coach, new players, and I didn't know much of the coach. But shouts to Uncle
Tony, man. Shouts to Uncle Tony. That's my
That's my guy. That's my guy.
He's not going to be. I suspect he's going to be a head coach somewhere in a year or two, but I'm going to enjoy every moment while he's around, man. Our defensive coordinator, our defensive line coach. Apparently, he didn't get along with Rule. Apparently, it was just like a personal. Really? They just didn't really vibe, and so he was ready to go early from Nebraska. Shout out to Nebraska.
sense.
They won their game. That was close. But and shout out to the guys that host the Nebraska Hour, being very supportive of us and saying nice things on their show.
Yeah.
Thank you. You should listen to the Nebraska Hour. It's available.
Yeah.
As part of the Bet Your Ash Podcasting Network, BYAPN, be yapping. Their episode coming out later today. That will be. I forget who they play this weekend. There's a lot of games that are against lesser talent this week. Like there's not a ton of big matchups. So they have one of those type of games. But they got the win in Arizona. I mean, in Arrowhead in Arizona. Yeah, that's where you're at. They played in Arrowhead in Kansas City. That was pretty
nice.
Cool. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, they play Akron this week.
Yeah, they play Akron. A lot of people have that game, just like we do.
Yeah, just like us. Yeah. But the thing is, at least I don't care about these games now because we started out with such a bang. You know what I mean?
No, I get it. These next games they're about staying healthy, about staying and about tuning, fine tuning and stuff. But yeah, that was a really, really, really good start to the season. What it's done, okay. Yes, I feel better about the season, but I felt pretty good about the season. We both did. What it's done is it's raised the floor of my expectations, right? Like very possible, right? We have at least 3 really tough games ahead of us with Florida, Miami, and Clemson. And then, I don't think Virginia is that scary, but maybe like Pitt or somebody like there's a potential that we lose one somewhere else. We could still get, maybe 3-4 losses. I don't think 4. I mean, maybe 3. 3 would.
You always got to count injury. You know what I mean?
What I don't think we're going to get is 5-loss season bullshit, 6-loss season bullshit, and that win was key to my feeling like that.
Hell yeah, bro. Hell yeah. Definitely good. Definitely on the up and up with us, bro. On the up and up with everything. I don't think Gus even dipped deep into the playbook versus Alabama, which is another thing that I love.
Didn't really have to.
Right. Didn't really have to. And it's like I say, when you have a dynamic quarterback back there, it makes up for so much. Like you talk about the passing game, whenever a receiver wasn't open and he couldn't get him, what happened? Quarterback bootleg or run and get that first down, those little 60. It really put me in the same energy we were the year before JT got hurt. He reminds me so much of that feeling of watching JT on the football field.
I get it because JT wore the same uniform, but I honestly, I was thinking about Kyler Murray at Oklahoma when I was.
Oh yeah, that's a
he doesn't have the downfield arm. He doesn't have the distance and the accuracy downfield. I mean, he can get it down there.
Oh no, he threw a deep one down there.
Yeah, he kind of underthrew that touchdown pass, but we got it, and then we kind of bailed him out on 1 or 2 others. There wasn't a lot of downfield throwing at all. Most of the few throws that were to the sides, were within 5-10 yards. But that's okay. That's what we want. We don't want him throwing downfield a lot. He's not that quarterback, right? He is not that quarterback. We want to consider him. Remember when we had Cam Davis and we would do the wild Cam instead of the wildcat? We want to look at him as like a much better throwing version of that. You know what I mean? Like he's a quarterback. Like I don't want to take anything away from him. He's got an arm, but he's way more of a weapon, and he changes the game way more when he's used feet first.
Yep. But you also got to take into play we played against Alabama. So these are premier defensive backs that he was going up against as well. Premier top tier coverage and
You're absolutely right.
Because you say he can't throw deep, but goddamn, when he played us the last 2 years, he was throwing deep.
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So
2 years ago is one thing. Last year we didn't have the best secondary. I will say you're absolutely right. Our again, their team might not have been in sync, but they are very good athletes, and those, especially in the secondary. And the fact that I feel really confident in our wide receiver corps. All right, I'm not saying that we're going to get the ball to them enough, but or too much or whatever. I'm not saying anything like that. I'm just saying to see them get open against that talent tells me they're going to have no problems getting open against everybody else this season. Right, that talent is on par with Clemson, Florida, Miami. Right, and I feel very good about the wide receivers and. What if we're in a position where we have to get it to them? That's when I'll have my fingers crossed. But hopefully, we're never in that jam. Hopefully we just like
even
we talked
so,
about
bro,
last week, we get 3-4 yards every first down, and
that's what I'm saying. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Even if it's a situation where we got to throw deep or whatever, and it's a bunch of people guarded, we got a dynamic quarterback where he can zip and run for that 5 to 10 extra yards that we need. And that's that. I saw so many plays during the Alabama game. This is early on, first half, where it's like, third down and 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8 or something or whatever. And it's like no one's downfield. Next thing you know, he runs it and then gets the first down and goes to the sideline. And that may just be a first down in the stat book, but you look at that fucking sideline and everybody, that's my guy. Yeah, you're getting all into
it's serious business.
That's what
we love seeing. We love seeing a fighter out there. Right.
Yeah,
it reminds us of Charlie Ward. It reminds us of the guys that like really wanted it more than anybody else ever. That's what we're looking for. So I get it.
And you can see that the team had his back. You can see
everybody was dialed in, dude. There was
right. Even the defense was coming up
enough of last year. Right? Athletes, even at the beginning of the year, we had athletes we didn't have buy-in. Now that might have been a byproduct of the loss to Georgia Tech, but whatever it was, we didn't have it. And whatever the fuel for buy-in is, we seem to have it right now.
A lot of that comes from the leadership of the quarterback position.
I think they like playing with him and like playing for him.
Exactly. That's what I was getting at right there.
The deficiencies can be masked and docked and kind of like planned for, right? And devised, right? Like you can, you have to have a super effective running game and all different kinds of things because they're they're going to try to shut down the running attack. So by recruiting or getting more transfers of better running backs and having a bigger running back stable, you can handle that. You can do different things from the backfield. Also, like we talked about, like the throwing attack isn't super accurate, but you can scheme the wide receivers open. You know what I mean? You don't have to rely on his arm as much as on the play. Right. So you see wide receivers getting behind guys and taking off and stuff like that. So Gus Malzahn's a great offensive head mobility coach.
And we got an offensive line.
Yeah. And on the flip side, you're seeing the same thing. You're seeing really good defense. He's got the guys in the right positions to make the stop. Right. And that's all you can ask for out of a coach. And then honestly, I saw some big hits from Florida State players. I saw some guys I saw some Alabama players get like knocked and rolled on the ground, not just like not to the ground, but they hit the ground and kept going a little. They sort of hit the ground twice. I love that shit. So I was very pleased. I was very pleased, man. Saturday was like I was solo, locked the phone up. You were the only person that I didn't have silence, and it was it was a great day.
Hell yeah, bro. Hell yeah.
Yeah, and. Do you know anybody who was there? I don't know anybody who was there.
Nah.
I want to call people. I want to know what the stadium experience was like. I mean, it looked really cool. We went down a couple seats, but we didn't seem to lose any noise. That was one of the biggest games we've had in years. So I understand it was packed and there was going to be tons of noise. But it seemed intimate. But but it didn't seem to lose the. So the very first time I walked into Doak Campbell, I spent 4 hours in this place, and 80,000 some people, 90,000 people are just chanting "fuck Miami" for 4 straight hours. And I had, talk about buying from a new recruit. I was in, dude. I was like, this just a communal, emotional energy was palpable, and it felt amazing. It felt like a tribe, right? It felt like it really was special. And I didn't, it was nice to be back to that this week. And it seemed like the context, the space was ready for it. It seemed like the renovations were, I'm sure there's some tweaks and stuff they got to do. Once it get full and everybody get rowdy, you're going to be like, "Ooh, shit, we should have done this. Oh man, we should have put a little thing over there." Or like, "Ooh, we need some glue." Right. But for the most part, like it seemed like everything went smoothly. They went ticketless for the first time ever. I kind of just did everything all this first game when Alabama came to town. It's wild. And it seems like it went off without a hitch. Florida State fans have no problems complaining about Florida State or the experience or like when we're bad, and everything I've, on any of the social media platforms, anything I've seen has been positive, man. Everybody's all into it. So I'm very pleased. I'm very pleased this week. And I hope it's a sign of the season to come.
Hell yeah.
All right. Let's talk about some of the other games we talked about. And then we'll do a real quick pro-no report, and then we'll get into this week. Okay.
Cool.
We also discussed our guy Dion Prime. Tough start to the season. Georgia Tech goes in there and wins. Georgia Tech seems to really like first game of the season road trip. They got us in Ireland. They just got Colorado. Although Georgia Tech was the favorite going into that game, but still.
And it was two teams that was going through two rebuilds. Colorado's going through a rebuild this year after losing, all the talent they lost or whatever, and was going through a massive rebuild last year. So you got that to put into play with it. Not to take nothing from Georgia Tech. I want to say this is the second year as head coach or whatever there. So he's got the program rolling in the right direction.
Maybe the third year.
Second or third. Maybe the third. Okay.
He's a good coach, and he's got them playing. And we talked about it, a few weeks ago, where Georgia Tech is kind of a sleeper in the ACC, and it's sneaky because of where they are, because of they have wealthy alumni that if they get engaged on the NIL front, like they could be a problem. You know what I mean? They could be a problem. They play home games in Atlanta. You know what I mean? If those start getting crunk, like that could get really wild. So watch out, man. They keep making all the right decisions, and they're a year away from being a year away soon.
Yep.
That was I enjoyed watching that. I liked the Friday night football. That was a nice touch. And then we can skip forward to Sunday, and then we'll go back to Saturday. Sunday night, Notre Dame at Miami. Miami were 2.5-point underdogs. We said we didn't even want the points. We'll take them on the money line. They kind of
good job.
Good job. It was a good win.
Good job. Fucking good job, Miami.
I will say Notre Dame does not look as good as they did at the end of last season, and I suspect they don't look as good as they're going to look at the end of this season. Right? I don't think Notre Dame played their best football. Right? First quarterback for their starter, stuff like that. But Miami really looked like a solid football team. There's weaknesses. I have questions about their downfield passing attack, just like our downfield passing attack, right? But they seem to be out there in sync, ready to win, like play solid football and go play winning football. And I was impressed.
Oh yeah. My biggest impressment was Carson Beck. I didn't expect him to show out as much as he did, and I know he didn't put up huge numbers or whatever, but it's not the number stuff that I'm looking at.
It's that he didn't play bad.
He didn't play bad, and he has galvanized the team. He has that team behind him the same way that Cam Ward had the team behind him last year, and that goes a long way. You can tell he looks like he's been there for like 2-3 years already or whatever. And then something else that I didn't think of is Buddy got something to prove. He's like, y'all sitting up there blaming all of this stuff on me for what's going on with Georgia and everything or whatever. Let me go somewhere and show you that I'm really a dog. So Miami is gonna be a lot better than what I thought.
Those players aren't going to suffer some fake leadership bullshit. You know what I mean? Like those are some real ball players, like real dudes in that locker room. Like they're not going to fake it. You know what I mean? Like they're going to be inspired by sincere leadership only. And I was surprised a little bit and or impressed a little bit, and I think that Miami's a real team, and we got 4 weeks to get ready for a very big game that it might be fortunate that we're playing it in Tallahassee this year. It might be to our benefit.
Definitely.
It might be to our benefit. I think that in that matchup, we don't get hurt by the road game as much as they do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've always felt that way, but I'm glad that it's in Tallahassee this year.
Yeah.
The other games we talked about. We had a good weekend, by the way, buddy. Good start to the season. All right. I'm all about it. And then everything I was up, I fucking jammed it all on TCU on the money line.
Oh man.
Belichick, UNC. I can't believe it. All right. So the other game, Saturday. We talked about two games. We talked about LSU going to Clemson. That was a big game. I loved it.
Oh yeah.
I really enjoyed watching that game. LSU is you don't always. I mean, we know the record for season openers. So because of that, we got a couple points. Right? We shouldn't have gotten 3 points. That should have been maybe 1.5 at most because it was in South Carolina. Right? We shouldn't have gotten 3, but it didn't matter. LSU won it on the field by the touchdown. Thoughts on Clemson?
I think Clemson gonna be all right. It's just,
I think so too.
Yeah, it's just the first game of the year. Two very, very talented teams, and then I just feel like I knew the game was gonna be close, and I kind of mentioned it last week. Like the fact that they've lost, all of those home openers. 5? And I think
it was Coach. Oh yeah, it's 6-1 or something. I think they 1 and 6.
Yeah. So it's like, after a while, it's like, come on now or whatever. So I felt like LSU did have a little bit more pressure riding on them because of that or whatever. Yeah. So it's kind of what I expected or whatever, plus they have, I feel like the quarterback is just a step up better than Clemson's quarterback.
I think Clemson will be better later in the season. They're going to
definitely
they're going to get a sync. They're not bad at all.
At all.
There's a lot of ultimately Clemson's still undefeated in the conference. We're still undefeated in the conference, right? Like you could say the same thing about the next game we're going to talk about. Texas hasn't taken an SEC loss yet, right? They just, Alabama hasn't taken an SEC loss yet. A lot of this, we talk about how I always bring it up. I know, but we talked about how these should be the bowl games, but these out of conference big time matchups are great for week 1. But it doesn't ruin anybody's season,
Right. Yeah.
Still win your conference. Plus, with 14 playoff teams. So that being said, Texas, very tough start to the season, huh? You got to go to Ohio State. Year in, year out, perennial, number 1, number 2, number 3. Ohio State at home, the Horseshoe, legendarily difficult place to play. Tough spot for the Texas. They were getting 2 points. It wasn't enough. It was fun to watch. Kind of. I mean, I didn't like seeing Texas kind of never get off. It's not that they even they just never really got rolling. It's not that they ever got stopped or stifled or anything like that. They just never really got it started.
Yeah. And Arch Manning didn't have a good game.
Rolling off
a high expectations, but I'm not going to put too much on the kid, man. It's the first game versus, like you said, Ohio State and the Horseshoe or whatever. So, I don't care if you're a first-year starter or a 4-year starter or whatever, you're going to have issues rolling into that game, especially with it being the first game of the season. We don't know if wide receivers wasn't running the route right. We don't know what the underlying issues is, but I guarantee the kid's going to bounce back. I've seen him play good a little bit last year or whatever. So he has it in him. He's going to be fine. But yeah, it's just like you say, the first game. And like you say, this is the perfect time to have those bowl games because you're getting the pre-cut version of the team. You know what I mean? This is fresh out the plastic. Right.
You can get alumni from both teams to travel because everybody's undefeated, right? Everybody, and let's be honest. We're both overreacting to Florida State's first game. I mean, we're all of a sudden like, all right, Charlotte, here we come. Like we got it's so much football to be played, but we're like, we're just an example. I mean, every team has idiots like us saying, 2 losses or 2
I
wins
ain't-
last year, but watch what we do this year, baby.
Well, that's what I'm
Like,
saying. That's why I don't think it's overreacting because we had fucking 2 wins last year, bro.
no,
And
that's
we,
part of we're just
yeah,
celebrating,
yeah,
baby. We're just
yeah,
celebrating.
yeah,
We're
yeah,
pop models, right? But
yeah.
but because of that, it really works as a system to make the bowl game
Mhm.
the system, right? The bowl game, tradition, the kickoff tradition, as opposed to the end of the season. Now that we have the playoffs.
Yep, yep.
Quick prono report, and then we'll get into this next week. This is probably the last quick one for a while because starting next week, we got a lot of NFL players that we got to run through.
Boy.
So golf's over. Let's see what we got. We got WNBA. Our Connecticut Sun 3 L's this week. We had one nice week. Can't give us nice things. We ruin it. All bad. 10-31 on the season. All bad in Connecticut. Let's run through the major league real quick. Baseball. Cameron Vaughn Smith. He's playing really well of late for the Astros. Solid infielders, just solid bat, right? They are a few games up in the West, or the AL West, on the Seattle Mariners. Our guy, Big Dumper, up to 51 home runs on the season. So
Nice.
That's so cool. So cool. Also, Luke Weaver having a decent season throwing for the Yankees. Just kind of as expected, kind of relief pitcher starting pitcher does what he's supposed to do, right? Throws the ball hard when he's handed the ball, right? Does his job.
Mm-hmm.
There are a few games back on Toronto in the AL East, and then Taylor Wallace for the Rays on the injured list, and so is Jonathan India of the Royals, just got put on a 10-day. Usually when you go on the 10-day IL this late in the season, your season's over. Nobody wants to say it, but your season's over. And that's it. Real quick. Prono report for Thursday, September 4th, 2025. Presented by National.com. All right.
Sure.
So I mentioned it quickly. There's really only a few games of note this weekend, right? There's a lot of, we'll say, bad matchups. You do have one matchup between two ranked teams. You got Michigan getting 2.5 on the road at Oklahoma. Michigan's 15. Oklahoma's 18. Could be a really good game.
Yeah, that'll be a good one.
Yeah, worth watching. It's pretty much the only appointment television this weekend. I don't really even have a lean there, other than I want to see more of Michigan before I make any kind of commitments or back them in any way. They ended the year strong by beating Ohio State, but they didn't have a great season last year. So they had nowhere to go but up. Plus, they have all those suspensions to deal with and shit like that. I don't think they're a bad team, but there's potential for distraction when you have all that bullshit going on, right? And I get it; they're smarter than most football rosters, right? It's Michigan, right? They have academic expectations in their admittance department, in their with their recruiting. They have a little bit of that Notre Dame, Stanford, obstacle where you have to have some smart kids. Duke can't bring in certain players. But Oklahoma is just a little bit more professional of an organization at this point. Right? And I just feel like they're taking this move to the SEC seriously. You're seeing them get adjusted to it a little bit more. And I don't know. I feel like Oklahoma at home, there's always a fuck those guys from the North kind of attitude when the Big Ten comes down to SEC country or to the South. I don't know. There's something about this that's making me lean towards Oklahoma, but I'm not going to jam it or anything. I'm put a little something on it, but I'm not going to jam it.
Yeah, I'm definitely leaning against Oklahoma with all the stuff that Michigan got going on. I know Oklahoma's going to have a solid offensive and defensive line, and that what I feel like enough to push them through for the win. Yeah,
that's legit. Also, they have a really nasty secondary this year. They're just, but they always have athletes back there, but it's nasty. Of local interest, USF getting 17.5 at the University of Florida. It's like a 45-minute drive. hour-long drive, right, from USF to University of Florida, short trip. It's interesting. You know what I mean? I'll watch it if it's on, but I'm not going to schedule my day around it. It's one of those kind of games.
Right. Yeah.
I do like Iowa State against Iowa. That game's always close, though. So it only being a 2-point spread is that reads right. If I'm setting that line, I'm keeping it a very small spread. Iowa plays Iowa State very well. They both play each other very well. That's a real rivalry. So that's an interesting game. I might watch that too. But other than that, it's an easy weekend. You can get your chores done, run some errands. Get ready for Sunday. Sunday's a big day. Big day.
Oh yeah. Yep.
So let's talk about the game that matters. You tell me, what do you know about East Texas A&M?
Ain't nothing to know, man. It's a team where you're gonna try to get your starters out early, get experience time for your backup players and stuff or whatever, and try to make sure you keep the score 21 points ahead or whatever, just so that we can rankings and all of that good stuff or whatever. But main thing coming out in the game, I just want to stay healthy, man. We already lost our tight end last week or whatever for the next few weeks. So just as long as we can come in, stay healthy, get our starters in, get our starters out, and get the W, and we should be straight, bro.
We learned a lesson a few years ago with Jacksonville State. You don't take anybody lightly. But we also learned a really, really shitty lesson when we had JT out there when he didn't need to be out there. There's a fine line. It's right in the middle, right? And you got to find it. Right? I think you get the starters out there. Once you get up 21, you get your second, third string out there. You need to have those guys getting reps, getting ready, because guys transfer, right? And you both don't want the good backups to transfer out. And you want them to be prepared to take the spots of the guys who do transfer out.
All of that, yep.
And then on top of that, right, we don't want our starters to get hurt, right? Like there's that, right? We got Virginia and then Miami in the near future. Virginia didn't look horrible, but I mean, bad competition. The difference between Jacksonville State and East Texas A&M. Jacksonville State was on the rise as a team, right? They were getting ready to come up to the FBS or the FCS or whatever. I get those confused all the time. They were growing, right? They were improving, etc. Meanwhile, Texas A&M, I think they're lower division and happy to be there. You know what I mean? Like it's not like a live dog or something, right? This isn't Michigan going into App State. You know what I mean? It's just not that kind of a competition. So I'm not incredibly worried. I think we could probably have our starters out by the end of the first quarter with a 21-point lead, and I have faith in our backups to protect that and add to it. Probably can't find a spread on this. I'm sure if I really looked around, I could find one, but I'm guessing it's 48, 50, 52, something crazy, right?
Crazy.
And it's it's an interesting one, man. It's a real interesting.
What gives me confidence is the last game, bro. And not to keep pumping up the Alabama game, but you don't go against talent like that, and then the next week go against talent like this and have work.
And I think our backups are going to want to show out too, right? Like they're going to be like, "Yo, look how good we are! Look how good we are! I want to play."
Right. So I am interested to see our backup quarterbacks play this game or whatever, because one thing that did happen last week is Tramel Jones had a freaking good game for Florida last week, and he was one of our recruits that flipped on us at the last second. So whether it's Brock or whoever we got second string at QB, I want to see development. I want to see something to show us of what we got for the future to come. Yeah.
And God forbid we need them later in the season. It's good that they're on a little bit early.
Right. Yep.
It's a pretty standard, what they used to call a cupcake game, the out of conference, lower division, warm-up game, etc. Just got to do what we're supposed to do. get out healthy, win by a lot. You know, you light work, right? Light work. Why don't you give him the Coach Cortez spiel and get him ready for the game? Get everybody, let him know, and let's wrap it up.
10-4, we're gonna keep it light this week. We don't have big game to get y'all up. I don't need nobody jumping up and down hurting ankles. So we're gonna say, y'all, is go out there and do what we expect you to do. It's just that simple, baby. You've already crossed over the mountaintop last week. So let's just have a smooth slide downhill this week with the team that we play. Offensive line, baby. Hey, man, I see y'all. I see y'all, baby. Defensive line, I see you as well. I see y'all. Y'all are showing up and showing out. We just need y'all to come do it for 2 quarters next week. My starters come in for 2 quarters and show out. My backups come in for 2 quarters and show out and show us the preview for the years to come. Because this ain't just this year, baby. We building for years to come. Because this is FSU football and we back.
I love it. I love it. Special teams, be better at punt return. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, man, we got to have something to work on. You know, got to have something to work on. We can get better on special teams. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. This was fun. It's so much better off a win. It's so much better off a win, bro. That was a big one, too.
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe Alabama came to Tallahassee to start the season. That was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
That was a bad booking on their part. They should have insisted on a neutral site or something. All right. Wait, does that mean we're going to Alabama next year to start the season? Is it a home and home?
I was just about to ask you. I don't know.
I might put on the armor and go in to enemy territory and go watch that game. I might go to that real game. All right, you look it up. I'll close out the show. The national show is co-produced between B. Yappin and Brohan, and it is available Thursday mornings during football season, and most Thursday mornings even off, in the off season. It is live on youtube.com/@national NATIONOLE. And it is available as an audio product. If you prefer, you can go to betyourash.com or search Bet Your Ash on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. If you're listening on either of those platforms, do all the things, like and rate 5 stars and write a review, all those stuff. Share with your friends. If you're on Spotify, find Gangstaville. In fact, Gangstaville's on all, he's everywhere. I mean, he's on all the social media platforms. He's on all the music platforms. If you go to his link tree, we have a link tree. It's National Show. He's got a link tree. It's /Gangstaville, GAINSTAVILLE. And there you will find links to all of his music everywhere. You should go listen to all of his old projects on all the different platforms and like it on all the different platforms, because that's the best way to support your friends that make music. Gangstaville is a good friend. And he's got new music coming out very soon. I know it. He always does. I don't even have to ask. I just know there's something in the works. And what else? Is that everything? Oh, yeah. There's merch you can buy at national.com, NATIONOLE.com. Go check it all out. It's dope. I think that's everything.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, then, go Noles.
Yes, sir. Go Noles.
And you have just finished listening to The National Show with Gangsta, Fizil, and McGee.